That'd be funny if that was how the stream started. Oh, hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to the Awesemo.com Live Before Lock show. We are talking NBA, talking MLB, maybe talk some NFL draft. Who knows? But as always, I am Chris Spags, joined by my fellow behatted gentleman, Josh Engelman.
What's up, everybody? I'm back.
Yeah, see, like, it's doing the same thing today where, like, just nobody's coming in right away. It's weird. Like, the notification hasn't hit my phone yet either.
Weird. It hit Twitter.
Huh. YouTube is conspiring against me.
I don't know if I follow us on YouTube.
Oh, well, there you go. I subscribe. You know, I like and subscribe to videos. Actually, make sure to do that. Like and subscribe, please.
What up, Boob?
Because that helps YouTube shit. Oh, Boob is here. That's good. As long as Boob is here, I know in life all I ever need is a boob, and I'm ready to go. So, thanks. Very mature joke to start the chat off. Yeah, we'll wait until more people trickle in. You know, no reason to give out all the great information that we both have right now.
Yeah, I just have an overabundance of good information. That's me.
I have had some fantastic information lately. Yesterday, I don't know if people in the chat followed my advice because, again, I don't give my advice with any sort of data or authority. But the White Sox stack I had yesterday, and I was pushing it hard, and I was actually confused why Jake wasn't into it because he's a known White Sox stacker. Like, I crushed for me yesterday. I was telling Josh before we came on the air, I had my first top 100 finish. So I'm feeling good about baseball. Really becoming a full baseball guy, wearing baseball caps and thinking about strikes and such. So
that is I want to rip that audio out. That was quite the speech.
Well, that's just, you know, that's what baseball players do. They just think about strikes and such. I think that's how it goes. We want to talk MLB up front since you have that up?
I've got them both up, so we can talk whatever.
Let's see. Chat room, vote real fast. MLB first or NBA first?
I mean, they're definitely going to pick NBA, so.
They are. I guess that really wasn't fair. NBA question mark? That's not authoritative enough, the ex-Royal Pro. Brandon Parker, NBA. I would have preferred caps locks on NBA. Maybe an exclamation point. All right.
NBA.
NBA is more like it.
Oh, there we go. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, let's do NBA then. So, Josh, you got your sheets. You got your Magic sheets up. You're not playing basketball tonight because you are a known hater of the NBA. But
NBA. They're the worst people.
I think MLB people come in later in the stream, and then they're just like hitting all the questions where they're doing a straight like Porcello or like whatever guy, and then with no context. Like that's how it goes.
Very true.
But NBA, what do you feel like are the top picks? I have some thoughts, but I'll let you get yours in first.
Okay. This is gonna sound very similar to the last time we talked about this, but I love Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. It turned out to be right. I will admit, but you know what? In fairness, it shouldn't count if he takes 40 shots to get there. That's like a bit unfair of a thing to wager against. Like, John Wall doesn't get 40 shots. It just hurts.
Yeah, but if anybody's going to take 40 shots, it's probably Westbrook. He's not like a shocking usage guy.
No, it's true. It just, boy, that hurt. That hurt. Him playing for like 45 minutes, Paul George playing 45 minutes, them both shooting 25 and 40 times. Just ridiculous. It's
so
funny.
Obviously, like, Oubre, but that sort of goes without saying. You know, he's going to be, him and Markieff Morris are going to be like the most popular low-price guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still like Oladipo on DK. 7,900 is a pretty crazy price. I still like Gobert. You know, I'm hoping that Utah can close that series out. So, yeah, but Russ would be my guy. He'd be who I'd be rolling with on FanDuel in particular.
So, I mean, I feel like, based on what I've seen the last couple slates, in particular the last full slate we had where it was actually a Westbrook and LeBron lineup that won, with Jay Crowder kind of crushing value to balance it out, and then just like Flotsam to fill out the roster. Besides Jonas, who I was big on last time too. Jonas, I'm a little less big on today, but still, I like him too. But anyway, like a lot of the top winning lineups have been Westbrook, LeBron, and stuff lineups, or like top two guys and stuff lineups. So I actually think you can go Westbrook and LeBron tonight.
I had Westbrook and LeBron that night, and I was still dog shit.
You had to get the right like value guys. There was like Corver, Crowder, Jonas. Maybe there were two other guys who were in that 4K range too.
Yeah, I didn't get them. Didn't have them actually.
Well, there you go. You should have listened to my Jonas stuff. Then at least you would have had the top three guys, and that would have been.
I had Miles Turner.
You see, and what do we talk about? Miles Turner's a bag of dog shit, but the price makes sense.
Wasn't the best, you know?
Yeah, no, he's been really bad. I mean, and last time too, like he didn't actually get into foul trouble. He just kept him out. And I think that's something too, where like I've seen a lot of the Roto World stuff saying like, oh, he got into foul trouble in the last two games. And no, he just got into foul trouble the game before that. He got in some second half foul trouble, but Turner was actually like available, and they just went with Sabonis because Sabonis was rolling. Tonight is not Lawson night. Tonight is more of an Alex Abrinas night than a Ty Lawson night. I would say that.
It's not either of their nights.
No, it's not. But Abrinas is 2,900 and has been putting up 15 points a game. So I mean, if that gets you,
ridiculous prices on DK.
It's like a stupid price, but it's like, hey, if he just has to get to 15 points and he's been doing that, I don't hate it.
You watched the Royal Rumble today?
I did. It was kind of like a dumb house show, I thought. Yeah. And some random guys. It was like what I was saying to my friends about in our group text was about, like, I was saying it was similar to the WWE 2K games where you play the universe mode, and it's like a created wrestler is feuding with Mark Henry. It's like, who is this sumo wrestler? Who is this? Like, it was odd. But good for Saudi Arabia and their horrible things they believe that they're PRing away.
I sent the message to the group chat asking why we didn't do a Rumble pool like normal. Nobody really had a good answer, but my college roommate was like, "Did Kazarni show up?"
No, but you did have Hornswoggle. As long as you have a magic leprechaun,
yeah,
I think that's. Let's see. Anything good? Oh yeah, Makad. Yeah, Shabazz did not work out at all. But the thing that I had said, which I did make a good enough point about, it was either going to be Brogdon or Shabazz, and Brogdon stepped up, so they didn't call Shabazz in at all. But it was, again, like, the thought process was there. You had to have one of those 1K guys in the showdown lineup yesterday. I think a lineup with Ojale was the one that would have been the best. So it is what it is. Sometimes you pick the wrong guy for $1,400 in a tournament. I don't know what to tell you. It's a crapshoot with some of that shit.
Yeah.
Let's do MLB. We're getting some MLB questions in. Josh, who are the guys that are coming up the most so far? You're starting to crunch a little.
Yeah. Lots of Orioles and Reds stacks for me.
I like the Reds too. The Reds haven't been mentioned a lot in articles today.
They were mentioned in mine.
I know. Well, yeah. Besides yours, they
were mentioned in the only one that matters.
But I mean, like,
Reds,
I usually
Astros.
I like to compare though to like the other outlets out there, so that's how we know what we're doing to differentiate ourselves.
Good point. I forget that there's another world out there. It's just I use us and that's it. God,
no, I read all the shit that gives me an alert.
Stupid Dodgers. Dodgers lineup's out, people. So make your changes because it's not what everyone thought it was going to be.
Eric Hosmer's back. It's an alert that just came through.
Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just 5. So just Grandal. This is such a pain.
The Royal Pro, we might not have slam dunk picks today because Osmo is traveling. So just if you're a premium member, pay for that, or if you're not, pay for that and look at the rankings because that's where the slam dunks come from. That's what I would tell you.
It's true.
Yeah, same answer to you, Alex B. Be premium, and then you'll see all the rankings instead of just the top 3 that he gives you. Ooh. Do you feel like the Indians might go slightly under-owned on both sites? I would say so because they're kind of at an awkward price, especially if people are going to go to Kluber. What do you think, Josh?
I think that the Indians are going to be relatively highly owned. Second highest implied total right now. Just an absolutely perfect matchup. I can't imagine people not being on them. I hope they're under-owned because I'm going to have them a lot.
Yeah, so let me see. Was there any stack that you've had which you feel like is going to be super under-owned that you're catching a lot in your lineups?
mean, like maybe the Orioles. They don't strike me as like the sexiest public stack.
I'll tell you one that I'm doing based upon my lessons from the last 2 days, where Sale and Kershaw both kind of tanked. I'm going with a Mariner stack in 2 lineups, just because I feel like Kluber's going to be the hot pick. He stands out the most in stats. He's obviously the top price guy.
Yeah.
So I think there might be some logic in going with like Zunino, Cano, who else do I have? Cruz, a couple guys like that. I think both hit righties well. Or whatever Kluber is. Yes. Hit pitcher like Kluber well.
Yeah, I mean, I won't have it, but it's a logical contrarian play.
Yeah, I think that's
really bad today for me.
Actually, Jake called one yesterday really well, where he said if you're going to not play Sale, you should play Justin Smoke and somebody else. It was another Dodger. Another Blue Jay. I don't think it was Travis, but Travis had the big day. But yeah, like Jake called it. He was like, I would go Smoke just to fade him. And that actually would have been a very smart play yesterday.
He's a smart guy.
He is. He has little gems, little savant-like gems that pop out from time to time. Let's see. Wall and Russ are fades for Antoine Murphy. You, buddy. Just hurt me. I honestly, I would not fade Oubre, to be honest. Like, I don't think he's going to get so many minutes, and he gets enough peripherals and all that. And he's also been shooting more. Like, there's no logic to really fade him, especially at his price, unless you're trying to build some
ridiculous.
He's going to be really highly owned.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to like one of the other 4,300 guys? Who are going to pay up for Kyle Korver and hope that Oubre duds out when like Korver's ceiling is Oubre kind of getting close to dudding out? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't fade Oubre. I probably wouldn't fade Morris either. What I would try to do is go contrarian by loading up on a couple of those guys, because they're going to be pulling in 30 minutes, whatever Otto Porter stats are. And if they all get a little bit of that, Mike Scott too, I think, Oubre, Morris, Scott, Gortat, all those guys will pick up a little bit of what Porter leaves behind.
Yeah, if I were on Oubre tonight, if I were playing tonight, I would certainly have almost all of Oubre. It's too cute to try to go a different direction and pick the guy in that salary range that also goes off. It's not like there's 8 games and 2 scratches and all sorts of like value at the bottom. He's the only way to like really make that fit in a nice way. So he's going to be owned a ton, as he should be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that in general you kind of have to load up on the stars, because the stars are the guys who are playing with their backs against the wall. I mean, you saw it with LeBron and Westbrook the other night, not to keep citing that. But I mean, and the minutes load too. If Paul George is going to play 45 minutes, if Westbrook is going to play 45 minutes, like go with the guys who are going to have to run it out, or Utah, who has to play a lot of minutes to try to close it out so they don't go back to Oklahoma City. Like, I would go to those guys and just use all this Washington value to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can. I also don't think you can fade Westbrook and Wall. That seems like a silly play to me. But
yeah, and it doesn't matter about Oubre's usage in this scenario. He's going to play like 10 more minutes during the game. That's what you're trying to get, the additional minutes.
Yeah, I agree. California cool. There's a good sample size out there that shows that every time Otto Porter doesn't play, Oubre has a better game. I think he averages like 25 fantasy points per outing. So I mean, that's value. That's more than enough value to clear some room. If you're going to pay up at the positions that he's at to try to get off of to get your roster on a different route, you do that. But like, if you're going to take another 4,300 guy and try to beat Oubre, I think that's a dumb move. I get when I want to go chalk.
Like, he's going to play like 9 less minutes than he does. I don't get it.
I think people try to overthink some of this stuff, and I get why you want to in the tournaments where it's a playoff, there's less options and all that. But Oubre is like a perfectly good value who's been at value without getting the minutes, and it's just, I think it's silly to think that he wouldn't tonight. You're talking again about a narrow margin of success when it's more logical to play the thing that's right in front of you and obvious.
I couldn't take Oubre fast enough over Lance Stevenson tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Like, what are you going to hope? Like, Lance has a big game, and then, again, you're going to Korver, Lance. Who else? Crowder, I think, is a fine play, but I think you can get him in there too.
I've got Oubre projected for 8 more points than Lance at $100 more in salary.
Yeah, and Oubre's had like a pretty good ceiling too when he gets minutes. I mean, there have been games where he's had 40 points in 35 minutes, and I think that's what we're looking at the potential of. I think the way to be contrarian is to load up on a couple Wizards because that's how people don't think. They don't think, oh yeah, that's right, Morris is going to get some of this. I mean, Gortat's going to get again. There's all these guys who are going to get just a little bit, and that's how you kind of squeeze value out of these cheap guys. Yeah. I'm actually pulling up the Wizards NBA Wowie now. Let's take a look. It's weird how they have him listed as Otto Porter and Otto Porter Jr. as if they're different guys.
It's a bug. He's also aware of it. So.
Oh, well, as long as they know about it, that's fine.
Let's check the usage monster.
We're solving all your Kelly Oubre-based questions that you might not even be asking.
All right, let's see. Why would I click on Utah? Washington is who I'm looking for. Otto Porter out.
Yeah, wow, he's not loading well for me.
He only played 138 minutes without Otto Porter, so. Porter
no.
Games.
Oubre?
So full games, not like on-off.
Yeah, Oubre has averaged 0.82 DraftKings points per minute in 1,353 minutes without Porter on the court this year. So that would be more than enough to hit value very comfortably.
I don't love him as much as I liked him before.
I think now you're getting analysis paralysis. This is how you draft Baker Mayfield. Just saying. Overthink it all. I mean, look, Wall gets a 1.2 point per minute. Like, these are big enough sample sizes to me. I like the bump for Gortat. I like the bump a little less for Morris, but Morris and Scott I think are comparable. Like, all those guys seem totally fine to me to afford the better guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would still end up having a bunch of them. I wouldn't change my numbers or anything, but I don't love it as much as I loved it 3 minutes ago.
Okay, that's fair. Hey, look, if you want to be Team Antoine Murphy and be on the wrong side of history, Josh, it's okay. Me and the Kelly Oubre squad will just be rolling it out.
I mean, people are wrong in the chat for not recognizing the fact that he's going to play so many more minutes, but that's sort of, it's like knowing you're going to get an extra plate appearance.
Yeah, I agree. Boom, boom. Do we like Jonas tonight? Do you like Jonas tonight?
I don't know. I mean, no, but yeah. He's like, he's just that guy. He's that guy that can go out there and have, 14 and 18, or he's that guy that can go out there and play 17 minutes and, like, no one will care or notice.
They did get him the minute, which, I mean, they did do the kind of squeaky wheel thing where I figured that he was going to go hard, and I had 100% Jonas because I was like, I believed in that. That was one of my conviction plays. I'll never tell you which ones are my actual, like, oh my God, like, I dead set believe in it. I always believe in him to some degree. But Jonas, I was fully in on, and I felt like a fucking genius at 10%.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things where, like, I like him more coming off a bad game where they're going to give him more minutes. They were feeding him the ball. Like, it's just it was like a really good performance by him, and he also like helped win him the game in the fourth quarter. So I think if he gets 30 minutes, it's great. Just there's a big risk to that, and I also like Gortat more for cheaper. I think Gortat got 35 minutes last time out, and he's getting this little boost with Porter gone. So I actually have a lot of Gortat.
Really?
34 minutes last time out.
I don't mind it.
4,700 on DraftKings.
I don't mind that.
I mean, again, like I'm sure it's like I'm going straight to Westbrook and LeBron, and almost like Westbrook, LeBron, Wall, LeBron, Rubio, West. Like I'm going on all those expensive guys. I have some DeRozan and stuff, but like I don't want to have a bunch of $5,000 guys because I really didn't love the $5,000 guys. The only one I think I really like in that range. Actually, no, that's not fair. There are a few I like in that range, but I don't see the upside as big based upon how I think these games are going to go. Just being game sixes. Like elimination games, I want to really get the stars in there instead of trying to do some of the scrubs. We're going to have usage dip a bit. That's just me, though. I could be wrong. I fucked up bad for the showdown yesterday. I did not have a rough Rosier.
Didn't go well for you?
No. I dropped a fair amount on that one. I had one Rosier one, and which was smart, but the combination of Shabazz and not having Rozier, it hurt. That hurt. But you gotta go with your heart. Go with your heart.
So you gotta go with your heart.
That's all I know. Would you go Gortat or Bogdan for a DK, or Bojan rather, for a DK GPP?
Let me take a look at it. Probably Bojan.
Okay. Interesting.
He can get hot, like shooting the three, and he's definitely going to be on the court. Whereas, Gortat could easily play 20 minutes tonight, or 18 minutes or something weird if something goes wrong. Like, Bojan's most likely going to be on the floor for most of it. Gortat picks up 2 or 3 quick ones. They might get used to a smaller lineup or something.
Yeah, and I think there's a little risk with Gortat, but I like the minutes he's been getting. I like the fact that they gave Jonas a little more minutes. So I think that, to me, Gortat makes more sense. But Bojan, I think, Bojan seems due for a little more. I worry about the elimination game stuff. Like, are you going to go to Bojan down the stretch, or are you going to go to Oladipo? And I think, or even Sabonis, who's had a big series, I think he's a mouth that doesn't need to be fed quite as much in a game where they just have to win it. But that's not data, though. That's sort of a narrative thing. I don't know how you juggle both those things, but for me, I'd rather focus on the high usage guys, and then just try to get some cheap guys who can fill in.
I'll give you something to juggle. I got nothing.
Thanks, Lisa Ann. Oubre too chalky? No, I mean, look, whatever, guys. I think there's an assumption sometimes that you have to try to outthink stuff and whatever. Again, if you just want to be contrarian for the sake of it, you can go other directions. That's fine. But I think don't overthink the stuff. You're playing against people who make dumb plays sometimes. Don't be one of the people who makes a dumb play, or just tries to avoid a play because they're trying to be cute. That's all. Love the write off of Lawson. Okay, stop. We are not going back to Ty Lawson. We learned there. That was a learning episode where we saw Ty Lawson does not have value unless the backcourt gets fouls.
Yeah.
Mike Scott does, though. Mike Scott coming off the bench, sure. That guy's going to get more shots. What would you do with Miles Turner tonight? Would you go back to the well?
Probably. 4,900 on DK. I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment.
I think going either him or Sabonis is if you're putting a conditional rule into Fantasy Cruncher, I think that could be a smart play.
Yeah, I would want one or the other.
Yeah, I like Sabonis a lot, but I think Turner could easily get hot and can be one of those guys who all of a sudden he's putting up 20 points in the first quarter because he's just playing angry after all these games that are terrible. Let's go back to MLB, guys. Give me some questions there. Guys, I understand the grading process on Strasburg and Severino. Which of the two would you say is the better play, Josh?
Which site?
Your butt. I don't know. He didn't say.
Severino and who?
Strasburg.
Okay. I would rather have Severino either site.
Ooh, I like Strasburg more.
Okay. Yeah, I'd rather have Severino.
Hey, agree to disagree, Josh. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. It's close.
Here, I'm going to run a pitcher by you, a pitcher who I have been playing a lot in tonight's slate. Miles Mikolas.
Love him.
What
Keep an eye on the
what do you
weather,
think?
though.
Oh, is that a possible postponement?
It's a possible delay at a time where he might not come back from it.
Interesting. Okay.
I like it, but there's a faint amount of risk in a long start. But he could also be fine. It might not ever stop, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. But I like him. Well, he's the guy that grades out really well for me, particularly on FanDuel. He grades out insane. I like Pomeranz more than I like McCollus on DK, but they're real close.
Okay. Oh, here, thoughts on your boy Acuna tonight?
I wouldn't want him, but I hope he does well. But I wouldn't be playing any Braves tonight. Oh, what up, Beto?
Yeah, I like Nola. I actually have Nola in a couple lineups where I didn't go Mikolas.
A lot. Let's see. What's my current Nola exposure? 15%.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good amount of Nola.
Yeah.
Are you going with a lot of Kluber?
37.
That sounds like that's about what the ownership should be with the field, right? Maybe a little less.
Yeah. It'll be in that area, that's for sure.
Let's see. What are the slam dunks
chair
again?
Just dropped again. Scared the shit out of me.
Classic Friday stream. We have the high energy of a Friday stream today.
Yeah.
Guys, Osmo's slam dunks. It's on our Twitter. Just make sure you follow Twitter because that's where they've been coming out lately.
Yeah.
At Osmo_com. The slam dunks for Osmo are Westbrook, Oladipo, Markieff on DK, and Oubre on FanDuel. So the guy who makes the $1 million a year says Oubre is a slam dunk, but the guys in the chat say he's not. Which would you go with? I don't know. To be fair, I say this about myself too, but you know, gotta look introspectively.
Oh, that was funny.
I mean, look, this is the life we choose. Every time it happens, and it comes to a direct head-to-head, it often ends up being Osmo that's right. Often does.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet on him.
Just it's a plus EV situation to go with the guy making the $1 million plus.
Yeah.
I think that's with any walk of life. It could be anything. That's always going to be true.
Yeah, I'll bet on the cash.
If that guy can afford to buy a car out of like his checking account, like that's a dude. Just give him an extra point in decision making.
Yeah.
I think that's me. Markieff is okay. Markieff is fine too. I like Markieff. Like Markieff and Oubre both are going to be. To be honest, here's my bet. I bet that Markieff, Oubre, and Mike Scott all score basically the exact same amount of points, and I think Gortat scores a little bit more than two of them. And I think they're all going to be in that same 20 to 30 range, just where you need them to be, just so you can get to LeBron and Westbrook.
How can we turn this into a Chick-fil-A bet?
I don't know, because you're on Team Oubre too.
Yeah, but I'll bet against you for Chick-fil-A.
So what's the bet? I mean, if you're going to bet,
I don't know. You were like, I think all these guys are going to have like the same score, so that's. I don't really know how to bet on that.
I just think based on what I like, based on how they've performed without Porter on the floor and in the playoffs, I just think that foursome, that Scott, Oubre, Morris, Gortat group, they're all getting you, like they're going to get you an average of 5x between all four of them. Like if you put them all together, they'll get you at least like 5x. That's my thought, but I don't want to monetize. I don't want to put chicken on that.
Okay. You don't want to put the chicken on it?
I don't want to put a little chicken on it. No.
Is that going to be the news? Is that going to be the slang for when we want to do it? Put some chicken on it.
Oh, I think it's worth like if you're running your mouth. Oh, you want to put some chicken on it?
I feel like I need to get putsamechickenonit.com right now.
Oh god damn it!
I might Google this. Who knows what comes up? Put
some chicken on it. Your boy Beto says Abrinas might have a better game than Markieff Morris. I like Abrinas. I don't know that I see that. I don't know that I see that occurring.
I'm not entirely sure why when you search for "put some chicken on it," you get Willie Stargell's Wikipedia page.
Is that like an expression he had? Like a
I don't know. And I got the Urban Dictionary for "put the chicken in the oven."
Oh. What is that, like a baby thing?
I guess I can say this exactly how it is. The act of inserting your penis into a woman's vagina.
Oh, okay. So that's not even like a cute euphemism. It's just literally talking about sexual relations.
I'm going to put the chicken in the oven. I'm going to use that in the future.
Alex the Great, I would go overboard with Wizards, in part because they have the biggest team total, also the biggest improvement on their last 10 games team total. They're at home in a must-win game. So I have, again, no issue with loading up on Wizards. That team total is good. That's what we look for. Got to go by that. In a DK GPP, Josh, would you go Rubio and Favors, or Beal and Ingles, or Oladipo and Bogdanovich? So a little triple threat match.
Rubio, Favors, Beal, Ingles. I would go Rubio, Favors.
Okay. I mean, I like Rubio. I think Favors worries me a little because he's just been losing minutes to everyone. So I might go Beal and Ingles for safety. Yeah, I think, but Rubio and Favors is fine. I mean, obviously, anytime you're playing Ricky Rubio, you're having a great night. So that's fine by me.
Fred VanVleet is playing tonight.
Oh, yeah, so adjust your deal on rights accordingly. He's actually been really good without VanVleet, but I just haven't played right because I've always been thinking, oh, VanVleet's going to be back this game, and then...
Yeah, he had like a really crazy end to their most recent game, right? Didn't he have like 8 or 9 points in like the last 4 minutes or something stupid?
Yeah, and he was on their crunch time group too. It was him, Jonas, DeRozan, Lowry, and not Ibaka. Somebody else. Somebody who wasn't Ibaka, but Ibaka is not getting run anymore. They just don't want him out there.
Brandon Williams might be on drugs right now.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, Russell Westbrook definitely won't score over 33 fantasy points.
He might score 32.9 like real points.
I mean,
I'd bet my paycheck on that one, I think.
He would have to get shot, I think, in the first quarter.
Or like, I don't know, die on the court.
Okay, Antoine Murphy. Yes, game to game things change. By the way, they don't usually change for the worse. Like they don't pivot off of something that worked. So that's like what you try to find for the playoff stuff is like a lineup that's going to be adjusted because of success. Like that's why I like Shabazz Muhammad because he was like in a very effective lineup, which they seem like they want to play more of, and that's like where the value play is. And then you look towards the stuff like guys getting minutes. The same thing we look for in the regular season is now the case where Oubre should, we got this news yesterday, Oubre would probably be like 5,600 on DraftKings. Instead, he's 4,300. Those are the things. But
Shabazz Muhammad is like all sorts of terrible.
He's not. He's actually been really good per minute. It's just like he doesn't play defense well. But he outplayed Jabari Parker the 2 times that Giannis was out, like pretty substantially.
That doesn't shock me. Jabari's fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate Jabari right now. I want him to be so much better, and he's not.
He's been good. He's been good, though, like this series at least. He just needs run. I mean, a lot of these guys, it's sort of the same thing with Whiteside. Like, if you're kind of a player who mopes, there's not a way to quantify that, but we've talked about it in the live stream.
Are you trying to say that Whiteside mopes? Come on. He's got the best body language in sports.
That's right. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. Obviously, Hassan Whiteside cares the most, and he's a high-energy guy. But
I've never known anyone to care more than Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that he sort of is similar to him, where it's like if you're not getting minutes, you just don't feel happy, and you just don't play as hard. And if there were some guys they cross that 30-minute threshold, all of a sudden they're running around, hustling, grabbing boards, and it's like it's stupid, but you kind of have to learn who those guys are and try to adjust. Shabazz had 17 points in 10 minutes. The hope was that with how ineffective Brogdon was, like again, it's just I'm not doing this again. Russ and PG getting traded.
No.
No, the PG's leaving. I think there's no way he's staying.
They would never trade Russ.
No. I don't know. Do you think you can win with Russ, like as a team?
Yeah.
Simmons thinks you can, and I find that interesting, like as a thought at least.
Look,
because he just doesn't distribute the ball, he doesn't make a team work. He just gets his hard.
If you put Russ on the Warriors right now, they're still the favorites. So, yeah, if you put Durant and James Harden back on the Thunder, motherfuckers are going to be the favorites.
True.
So
I guess he does need better pieces,
yeah, anybody can win a title as long as you have other elite dudes with you.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, the hope was that Carmelo was going to be the third elite guy.
Yeah.
That's obviously not been the case.
But
there's also something. He looked good in those summer ball videos where he's wearing the hoodie and everybody's like hoodie Melo hitting jumpers, like blah blah blah. I know that's I remember that. I wanted to believe. You didn't have any of those, like, he's in the best shape of his life articles, though. We needed a couple of those so you can really feel good about it. Let's see.
That water is so tasty. I'm so dehydrated.
Do you pop a Molly?
No. This doesn't seem like the best way to enjoy that. A weird live stream on YouTube for 200 people. On the dot when I said that, too. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to probably go somewhere else.
Look, you might have wanted to spice up a stream. It's a Friday. Like, pop a Molly, just listen to some Migos before you come on, and then all of a sudden you're balling out.
I did listen to Migos before I came on.
So you're just missing half that equation.
Yeah.
Would you play Van Vliet at all?
No.
I agree with no. And also, people asked before about Delon Wright. It's not the fact that, like, he's going to take so much away from Delon Wright. It's that if he takes 10 minutes, 5 minutes from Delon Wright, you're talking about a real tight margin for Delon if he doesn't get that fourth quarter run or if they go with a different group. Like, that's a team where, like, things could change very much game to game. And I think Delon has a little risk because of that, but he's been good, so I don't want to say, like, he's not a great play. I don't, it's hard to say.
Agreed.
But I wouldn't play Delon personally or Van Vliet.
Agreed.
Peraza and JD or Mancini and Lindor?
Probably Mancini and Lindor.
I agree. I got Mancini in a couple Oriole stacks.
Yeah, Mancini came up a lot for me earlier. Let's see where he's at right now.
Is that a nice price? Got some good isolated power. This is all. Well, I was saying this to Jake. Like, I've only looked at the stuff that Alex told us to look at, and it's been amazing because it's like I'm looking at two stats, and I'm usually getting hitters right, like a fair amount of the time.
Yeah, I've got a ton of Mancini.
Yeah, he's nice. Him a little Machado, a little Pedro Alvarez, who I went to high school with. He used to grade underneath me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, made a lot more money.
You went to Vanderbilt?
No, my high school. We both went to a private school, Horace Mann in Riverdale, but we were both poor kids from the Bronx, so we were on the same bus.
I know, but I think he went to Vanderbilt after that.
Oh yeah, for college. Yeah, for college. Our school was terrible at baseball. He was one of, I think, maybe two guys who ever went to like a serious thing. He got drafted by the Red Sox out of high school, but it was like one of those whatever 25th round picks. So then he went to college and just banged Southern girls.
In college.
Yeah, he's a real good, like, thick Dominican kid who just waffled the ball. Like, we have a lot of those in the Bronx. It may surprise you. And I say that as somebody a little bit Puerto Rican. It's okay. But yeah, he was mashing. Like, for a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, he was mashing.
I believe it. And
he still does. He still has a great ISO power and a great BABIP. So I'm playing him some tonight. And I hope it's good luck. Cardinals versus Brault. What do you think about that stack? I actually like that a lot, but I guess maybe weather concerns.
Yeah, a little bit of weather. It should be fine, though. I already had it up. Yeah, it's not my favorite stack in the world, but the top four is pretty cost-effective.
I love DeJong.
He's hitting 6 now.
Still, I mean, he's got really good power stats and really good contact stats versus the pitcher.
Yeah, I would take a lot of shortstops before him.
Ooh, Chick-fil-A bet, Josh, on baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I would take a lot of shortstops ahead of him.
Which ones?
Give me the best one. And I'll just name people under him. Bogarts, Semien, Tim Anderson, Peraza, Profar.
Ooh.
Maybe not Profar. Maybe I'm too far down. Everything else I said, though.
Yeah, I actually have, I have a stack with Schebler, DeJong. I like Gennett. Actually, no, not Gennett. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to think who's the other one. I have one other stack with more.
You said Schebler?
Oh, sorry. I'm mixing up. Sorry. I have one. Actually, I like DeJong so much that I have him in a lineup with a bunch of other Reds. So I got confused by the hat. But no, I have DeJong in a lineup too with a bunch of Cardinals. Yeah, with Pham. Hold on. Lineup's loading.
Pham, Fowler, Martinez, and Ozuna all look pretty good.
Yeah, I think Pham I have a fair amount with.
Last two lineups just got confirmed. Now I can actually be confident about what I'm doing.
Yeah, but anyway, I would do DeJong bet. I would take DeJong over one of those assholes
that you named. Just pick one of them? Fuck that. I have no confidence in that.
Well, we did this yesterday. I couldn't get Westbrook versus the field, which would have worked out fine for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not as confident in this one.
All right. Fine.
I only make bets I know I'm going to win.
Fine. I like the DeJong guys. I might confuse his hat when I have a lot of red hat guys stacked, but
it does get a little confusing.
I want simpler hats. That's all I ask. Better value on FanDuel, Mike Scott or Larry Nance?
Scott. Right?
I think so, yeah, but let me see what Osimo has. Osimo is not very big on Scott today, though, in general.
Yeah, I'd rather have Scott than Nance.
Yeah, so for DraftKings, I don't have FanDuel NBA open. He has Nance as a B value on DraftKings, and he has Scott as a C value, and both as D production.
Okay, well then.
So I'm a little more bullish on Scott.
Yeah, what do we know then?
Hey, look, I shat talk the chat about it, so now I agree. Look, if he says Scott's a bad play, then maybe he is. I don't know. I still believe in Scott though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6 and 7. So I'm probably
who are your top catchers?
That's a good question. Let's take a look. Top catchers. Real Muto. Russell Martin. Gary Sanchez looks good. Evan Gattis looks good. There's nobody that really stands out for me.
Do you like a Yankee stack at all? Because I had a couple players there I liked. I think I might have one stack with them with like Stanton, and because I think Heaney might get hit.
We talked about that today. I think I do. Their lineup just confirmed, so I'm gonna make sure that I have the right stuff in here, which I don't believe that I do. Nope, because Aaron Hicks is leading off, so we'll find out in a second. But I did like them a lot this morning, so.
Okay.
Judge,
yeah, they got
Gregorius,
Sanchez, Stanton, Judge.
Neil Walker.
Tyler Austin is out today, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ronald. There we go. So, question: do I like the Yankees stack? Answer: yeah, probably.
Okay.
4.2 run implied total is not like my favorite thing in the world. A Yankee stack is kind of expensive, but Stanton looks to be in a really nice spot. If you can do something like, I don't know, Walker. See, it's hard for me to recommend stuff. It's different on DK than it is for FanDuel. They look a little bit better on DK. You can go Hicks, Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, and be fine with that. They're just expensive. That's really the only issue.
Yeah, and it's tough because a lot of the pitchers are going to want to play. I mean, are going to be pretty costly. So not a lot of great value pitching today to pivot around. Oh yeah, Peter Donato playing Barnhart. I agree with Barnhart. I have a stack with Voto, Barnhart, Gennett, Duvall, and Schebler. So that was where I messed up my red hats, and my Reds hat. You still like Nola, right? We established that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you think Jay Crowder, not Jamison Crowder, is a trap?
That's a weird question. Is he getting talked up?
So I mean, he had a 45-point fantasy point game the other day. Yeah, so like Drew, actually, I agree with. I didn't buy into him. I very noticeably did not buy into him on the stream the first day, and I think I stand by that. What happened though since then is the series got very chippy, and to the point where like that game with Russ is what got him where Russ is going so hard at Rubio. They brought out Crowder for that because it was just getting kind of out of hand. And since then, Crowder's just been playing like a crazy person and just like shutting down Melo. He basically took Melo out of the game completely. So they just benched Melo in the third quarter. He's been
to see if they keep doing that, by the way.
Yeah, I mean they should. They should just keep Arenas.
Jeremy Grant too.
Yeah, I think both guys are better players for the series than Melo is, which sucks. I want Melo to be good enough, but he just can't get the shots he needs. Yeah, I mean, I think Crowder's not going to have the same upside. He's not a 40-point player again, but I think he's totally fine. He's got a good shot at getting to 30 fantasy points. Yeah, Crowder's playing very spicy, like very feisty, very spicy. All the Y verbs. Yeah, no, look, I'm not disrespecting Crowder. I think Crowder's a great player, but I think he's a great player when he's properly motivated. And I think this series getting like so testy is what got him motivated. But yeah. They're very testy. A lot of testies on the line, which make people testy. Is 5 Wizards too much? What do you think, Josh?
Yes.
I'm going to say no, because I have that, and also because I think the team total's high enough where, I mean, Porter hasn't gotten a ton of usage, but we're talking about this more holistically, where Vegas is accounting for that at this point. The team total's still up there, and I think that's why, like, you can probably play several of these guys. I think there's a decent chance at a home game where the Wizards tend to score a little more, tend to push the pace a little more. I think you can absolutely play Wall. I think Beal's viable. Obviously, we've talked about Oubre, Morris, Scott, and Gortat. So
yeah, I
think they're all viable. I wouldn't play. I mean, look, you're talking diminishing returns if you're playing them all at once. But I think the value guys who are all in the 4K range on DraftKings, I think, you know, they can have value. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask of Washington, but you know, I have faith.
5's just too many for me.
I think you're probably right, but I think the guys are so cheap. Like again, we talked about, like I was saying, like Mike Scott can get 20 fantasy points. It doesn't mean that he's going to be scoring a ton, but like he will get some boards. He'll score a little. Same thing for Oubre. Like they're all kind of similar players in that respect, where they can do a little bit of both, and that can get you the fantasy points while probably not changing the projected total too much. On FanDuel, would you go Nance, Grant, or Mike Scott?
Nance, Grant, or Mike Scott. Jesus Christ, they're stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
I would probably go Mike Scott.
I agree with that. Grant was really just a defensive player. He did nothing offensively last time out. It's the playoffs. I mean, that's what happens in basketball is guys who were brought in for a role like that. Like Grant might get a few shots, but he's not there to score. Paul George is there to score. Westbrook is there to score. Jeremy Grant's there to just hang out and play D.
Yeah, I mean, the Jazz are, you know, pretty sizable favorites for today, so I don't know if Grant is going to be the guy that they lean on if they try to save their lives.
Yeah, I agree. Bogarts or Jace Peterson and utility for FanDuel? That
shouldn't even be a question. The answer is Bogarts. It's not remotely close.
What about Bogarts, as it was spelled?
I probably wouldn't take Bogarts, but I would take Bogarts.
Wade Boggs was a great player, so Bogarts maybe. Hard to say.
Wade Boggs was a great drinker, evidently.
That's right. The It's Always Sunny episode. You watched that, right, Josh?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I was watching the season 5 bloopers today on YouTube.
Such a great show.
Yeah.
A great show we may never have another season from.
I know.
This guy's got all too big.
Makes me want to go watch the Charlie's Work episode. That's my favorite.
There's so many that are really good. Like the boat one is one of my favorites too.
Amazing. I'm learning a lot of sweet moves out of this guy.
Would you go? I guess this guy didn't give a site. Would you go Morris, Young, or Favors?
Probably Favors, right?
I mean, on DraftKings,
that's probably not close.
On DraftKings, there's a price difference, so
yeah, Favors is $800 more than Morris. So, like, I'd want to know what that opened up.
Yeah, like I would probably go Morris, and I like Thad Young. I didn't get to him price wise in most of my lineups, but yeah, I like Thad Young. I'd like him to bounce back. He's been really good this series since he's been able to play some offense and hasn't had to guard LeBron. Guarding LeBron takes a lot of energy, you might guess.
On DK, I would take Morris, but I would want to know what you're spending the extra $1,200 on.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I like Morris on DK. I think across the board, I like Morris on DK. Would you go Leonis Martin or Mazzara on DK? I like Martin. I have Martin in a few lineups.
Probably Mazzara, if I'm thinking about this correctly.
Well, I disagree. How about that? I have a couple of Martin's on the Tigers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of Tiger stacks with him.
Let's see, 972, 4,000, or Mazzara. What am I doing? Rangers. And that was on DK, right?
Yep.
4,000 from Martin, 3,400. Actually, you know what? I'll take Martin.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I like Martin. I'll give you guys one of my stacks that I liked a lot, which actually weirdly I didn't go to a lot because I think I fell in love with a few other stacks. But Castellanos, Martin, Candelario, and Cabrera. I like all those Tigers a fair amount.
Tiger stack looks good.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad. So that one we agree on. But I like the Tiger stack. I think it might be a little lower owned, but maybe not. Who knows? Yeah.
I don't think I have much of them, but I don't mind it.
Who are your top 3 centers for tonight on FanDuel?
Are there 3?
Yeah, you got Gortat, you got Valanciunas,
Gobert,
Adams. There's at least 4.
I'd say probably Gobert, Gortat, and Jonas.
Yeah, that's
there's not a lot of choices, so it's kind of a weird answer.
Yeah, Gobert is going to be should be the highest scoring one out of that group, I would think. But for the price, I think I'm most into Gobert personally.
Okay.
Oladipo will be high owned, Antoine, because we have him projected for very high ownership, at least on DraftKings. I don't know about FanDuel. Let's look at FanDuel. But I think we currently have Oladipo projected as the highest owned player on the slate. I think.
That's funny.
Yeah, we have currently Oladipo. We have projected for 51% ownership on DraftKings. So
there you go.
That would be high.
Just a skosh.
Yeah, and also on FanDuel, we also project him to be the highest owned player at 44% ownership. So sign up for a premium membership, and you can check this out yourself, so you don't say silly things that are very likely to be not true, or just so you know how to build lineups, because it's helpful to know that Victor Oladipo is going to be the highest owned player on both sites according to the projections of our site.
Very true.
Corey Brewer or Lance Stevenson, that is neither for me.
I mean, Lance is the answer.
Yeah, but Lance is fine. Corey Brewer's minutes are down, and I don't see them coming back up today. So Lance is fine.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, Beto, great point. Oladipo at 7.9K is going to be low owned, definitely. I feel like the emojis capture that well.
Yeah, that's a crazy price point for him on DK.
Why will Debo be so high owned? He sucked the last few games because you're not looking at the output, you're looking at the opportunity. He shot, what was it, 2 for 15 last time, some really god awful number, and he still got 35 DK points. So that's why he'll be highly owned, because there's still a lot of room for success there. Like Josh, I think you pointed out last time, he gets a lot of blocks, he gets a lot of steals, he got double-digit rebounds. So yeah, Oladipo is one of the safer plays in a certain respect, but also has 60-point upside.
For sure.
Yeah, he went 2 for 15 last game, 1 for 7 from 3. The game before that, he went 5 for 20. He's gotten 36 fantasy points in both those games. So you don't need a lot for him to do more for him to hit 5x. So that's why he will be very popular. Yeah. 3 minutes left. Oh, wait, she has basketball at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock? I don't even know.
You and your weird-ass times.
Yeah, sorry. 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. No, basketball's at 4. Okay, so 3 minutes left for basketball. 8 minutes left for MLB. So get your stuff in now. Scott Morris and Oubre on DK sound good. It does to me, Ryan. Some people may disagree, but I got a lot of love for Scott Morris and Oubre with both my pocketbook and my mouth today.
All right, I got my final exposures for FanDuel.
All right.
Kluber 40%, Nola 17, DeGrom 16, Severino 13, Strasburg 8. Those are all the major ones.
Yep, I think that works. DeGrom, I feel like, isn't getting enough love given the fact he's at a pitcher's park with one of the better K rates on the slate. I
would agree.
Why is nobody talking about Mitchell? To me, I like Mitchell. Mitchell's price is a little high. I think somebody was asking before about Mitchell or DeRozan. I kind of view them similarly, where I like them both, but the prices are a little tough to get to on the slate. I would rather, like I've said, I'd rather go Russ. I'd rather go LeBron. I'd rather go John Wall. Like I just think there's a couple places I would prefer to go.
I like that said,
I like Mitchell too. Like I think he's a good play. It's just roster construction wise, I just went a different direction. It's because I love the stupid Wizards going down with that shit. If Washington loses tonight, well, I will be sad and DC will be sad, and we can do it together.
I'm cheering for the Wizards tonight.
Why does it have to be? It's not even have a bet. Why can't I just be happy, Josh?
I'm cheering for the Wizards, the Cavs, and the Jazz tonight.
Oh, I'm really rooting for the Wizards tonight. I want the Wizards to have a fantastic day. I want them all to have a moderate amount of success and spread the love across the floor as best they can. That's what I'm hoping for. How do you not like Ryu at that price tonight on FanDuel, Josh?
Pretty easily, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. It's because I like everybody else more. I'd rather have Kluber, DeGrom, Severino, Strasburg, and Nola. They can only have so many dudes.
Sounds like Ryu's not throwing any Hadoukens tonight for Josh. Thanks, guys. I'll be here all next week. Yankee stack. We've already established, yes, that we like the Yankee stack.
It's just really expensive.
It's expensive, yeah. But Judge, Stanton, and Sanchez look great. I forget who's the guy who's filling in for Tyler Austin. I think he also looks okay. I don't remember who it is offhand. It's whatever asshole's filling in. Who?
I was trying to see if I had any Yankee stacks. I only have one.
Yeah, that could be a bad one. Bad one to miss out on, I mean.
Yeah.
Teoscar Hernandez or Leonis Martin? We don't know the site.
That's such a weird question to know the answer to off the top of my head. Probably Teoscar Hernandez if I had to guess.
I like Martin, but I like Martin in the context of a nice Tiger stack. I really like my Tiger stack. I'm hoping that one does some good stuff for me. You guys are awesome. I agree, Brandon.
1.24 or nah, give me Martin. If you have the extra $300 to spend, then yeah, give me Martin.
Who is my Shabazz Muhammad of the night? So that's somebody. I assume that means a play that I think, or that I would think is good, but is going to be bad. I don't know how to answer this question. The guy who. Okay, so if we're going just on my hope for Shabazz Muhammad, it's Alex Abrinas, 2,900. We're gonna say it's the cheapest possible guy who you probably shouldn't play and I shouldn't play, but you still will get tempted into playing, and I think Abrinas is that guy tonight. Okay. Yeah, he could go either way. I think if Alex Abrinas puts up 20 points tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up 5. I'd be like, yep, all right, I deserve that.
Okay.
Ty Lawson, look, Beto, I wouldn't say Ty Lawson because I learn, I live and I learn as the best I can do every day. And Ty Lawson, I think, is a good play, but I think what I try to learn is about how coaches handle different situations. and that's what I try to exploit. And that's why I think Abrinas is an okay play, but could easily be wrong. Could very easily be wrong.
Main article on ESPN right now. Ty Lawson's comeback story is just beginning. After multiple DUIs, Ty Lawson couldn't get a job in the NBA last summer. A year in China revitalized his career, and now he wants to fulfill his potential.
Wow, I'm happy for him. I mean, just because he burned me that one night doesn't mean I won't ever. I'll always have a special place in my heart for Ty Lawson. We had a day. We had a day together.
So what are your thoughts on the first round of the draft?
Oh, that's right. So I think Josh Rosen, like I'm already thinking in terms of both season long and DFS. I cannot wait to play Josh Rosen. I am very excited for that one.
Really?
I'm a USC guy, so I'm happy for Sam Darnold, but they're going to try to limit his offense, I assume, because he's so turnover prone.
Well, I'm sure the Jets will limit it by being dog shit anyway. So.
Well, if you think about it, though, they weren't that bad last year, and now you're swapping him in for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, that's a pretty decent recipe for something there.
What do you mean
like,
they weren't bad last year? They had the 3rd pick in the draft. They were shit.
Like, they traded up for that.
Did they?
Yeah, they were like, I mean, they weren't great, but they were competitive in the East.
Oh, yeah, they ended up winning like an odd amount of games.
Yeah, they won like 6-10 or something, right? I feel like it was definitely more than their projected over-under.
They went 5-11.
Yes, there you go.
But they beat
for what they were.
Yeah, okay,
that's pretty...
so they beat the Browns. Oh, they beat playoff teams.
And from a fantasy perspective too, Josh McCown is really good last year. So, sure. I mean, so that's more what I'm thinking with it. I think they're going to try to they have to get Darnold being less turnover prone. But I think that I think Rosen is going to be my favorite fantasy quarterback. Unless like Joe Flacco gets cut and RG3 is the starter, then maybe Lamar Jackson ends up doing what Deshaun Watson did.
I really didn't want Barkley to go to the Giants.
As a Cowboys fan, I don't love that, but boy, that's going to be a fun offense. That's going to be a fun DFS offense.
Yes.
Like, I mean, and Eli's going to have some big games next, which is fantastic. You play Eli again and have that roller coaster of shit again.
I hate him so much.
I'm so tired of him, but like I played him a couple games last year where he put up like big numbers, and I was really happy with it. It's hard. It's hard to predict it when you get it. It's like catching a sunset in Switzerland or whatever, that Northern Lights kind of thing.
I wish they would have. Like, if I'm the Browns, I would have just taken Barkley and then whatever quarterback was left at 4. Which probably would have been Mayfield, I guess.
That was something that Mike Lombardi said, was that he didn't have an issue with the Browns taking Baker Mayfield. It was that taking him at number 1 was stupid because you could have taken like Chubb at number 1 or Barkley number 1, and you're going to still get Baker at 4, or you're going to get like Darnold at 4, but like you're going to get one of those guys at 4.
Yeah.
And it just didn't make sense to do it the way they did, because like you wouldn't trade Baker Mayfield and Ward for like a player that they could have drafted. Like, it's just, they're so stupid. It really just browns it up always.
You have to really not like Allen, Rosen, or Lamar Jackson to do it this way and to go Mayfield 1. That's fucking weird, man.
Well, he's the analytics guy. Like, that's what everybody's been like saying. Even in the chat yesterday, I think we were talking about it, and they were like, he's a top-graded Pro Football Focus. Like, I just don't see it. I've seen enough red flags with him. I question his accuracy a little bit. I have the same question with Lamar Jackson too. But I don't know. To me, like, I was more willing to take a flyer on old racist Josh Allen, see how he does. And at least he's a big-armed, raw-boned guy. Baker, I think, is like the in-between of all these guys. He's not as athletic as Darnold. He's not as big and strong-armed as Josh Allen. He's not as savvy as Josh Rosen. And you took that guy first. Just stupid.
My dream scenario for the Browns was that they signed Cousins and then took Chubb and Barkley.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a hell of an upgrade on both sides of the ball.
But yeah, their defense was good last year.
Yeah. Look, I
think good enough for them,
I mean, they're going to have Josh Gordon back this year, too. And I mean, I will forever...
He'll fuck that up.
I hope he doesn't, man. I love that guy. Not because I love weed, but also partially because I love weed. And I'm like, Josh, come on, man. We can do this. We can both do it together.
Yeah, I would like him to I'd rather him just be healthy and get his life together.
Yeah, I mean, if it stresses him out to the point where he ends up relapsing in various ways, then sure. But I agree with that. But I love him as a player, too. Like, I had him his rookie year, and I'll never forget that. It was so great. Just
I've got a buddy that drafts him, like, every year in fantasy just to stash him, being like, yo, when he comes back, he's going to go for, like, 100 yards a game. And sure as shit, it basically does it every time.
Oh, yeah. Roosevelt Hooker, Baker's a competitor. I'm describing Drew Brees. I'm describing Drew Brees, who was a second-round draft pick. He was the top pick of the second round. Totally fine with Baker Mayfield, top pick of the second round. Not number one overall. Not when you have a million holes that you can make your team better. Stupid. Just bad team management.
Also, Drew Brees is kind of like the ultimate best-case scenario. I mean,
yeah, sure. Like, yeah, he's undersized, small hands, and he's good. Like, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I didn't get that one at all. I can't believe they would go Mayfield. That's crazy. Look, it's a fucking crapshoot. It's not like I know anything.
No, it's true. We'll find out. Like, honestly, we won't know the results for 5 years. But
you know the mock draft I posted in our Slack?
What was that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I finished in the top 5 again.
Oh, wow, good job.
Yeah, so like this dude that I've known forever from back home, just at a local Podunk, Pennsylvania paper, has been basically like the best mock draft guy in like the past 10 years.
It is like a hard thing to do. Like people, somebody was talking about it on the thing I was watching or listening to, like how people go after Kuiper and Todd McShay so hard, and it's like it's such a hard, like a high variance thing. Like not to use that phrase again, but like it's just. Oh, that's right. That was what it was. And boy, just everything comes back to Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
But that's. But yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if one team like changes their path, then you change the next 20 picks in some way.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Also, guy was asking about hockey. I fucking no clue, man. That's a Jake question.
Does Mark Messier still play?
I know you got to stack them up. I know that. So stack up some guys. Just do that. Stack up a line. That's what you should do. Shift lines and stack. Josh, how was the lineup you put in the surprise stream? You might have answered that already.
Sucked dongs. And I had Braun and Westbrook. Here, I'm pulling it up now. There it is. Russ, Teague at 31, which was fine. DeRozan at 38, which was meh. JR had 10. LeBron got 69. Russ had 69 if you round up. I don't know if they had it together. Lance had 17, Melo at 19, Mike Scott at 11, Miles Turner at 14. Like everybody but Russ and LeBron was just shit. So,
final picks for tonight's NBA games. Yeah, who do you got tonight, Josh?
Who do I think is gonna win?
Yeah,
two
which
very
teams?
different questions.
Who do you think's gonna win?
The 3 favorites.
Okay, that's a very safe call. I think. Actually, I think that's the right call.
I mean, I'm not fucking smarter than those lines.
Yeah, no. So, actually, no. I think it's Wizards. I think the Cavs close it out. I think Wizards, Cavs, Jazz are my picks.
So, like, I don't mean it into, like, the Indiana line is 1.5. Toronto line is 2. If anybody says that the Thunder are going to win tonight, like, you should be betting on that game. Like, put your money where your mouth is. 6.5 point line is not one that you can just comfortably call.
Yeah. I think that one the Jazz run away. Honestly, like that's one of my concerns with Westbrook. Not that he's not going to play, but like they might blow that out.
Yeah. So I'm cheering for Wizards, Cavs, Jazz.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with Wizards, Cavs, Jazz for me too. So go all the Wizards. Really, go Kelly Oubre especially. Rooting for you, buddy. Touch your face on the app. All right, let's call it. It's been a lovely week here on the live stream. Josh and I will be back on Monday. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Go sign up for an Awesemo.com premium membership because there will be content all weekend when there are playoff games. I'm pretty sure we have at least one game tomorrow. So there's a showdown, I assume, for the Warriors-Pelicans game. And we'll have information on that and ownership.
There's 2 games tomorrow.
Are there? Okay. So then maybe it'll be...
Milwaukee-Boston game 7 is tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Oh, shit. Yeah, actually, let me see real fast what the slate is. I don't know if I'll be writing or not, because if that's early, I will definitely not be sober and functional.
Are you looking for the game time? It's at 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay, is it?
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So, yeah, both games. So, there will be 2 games then tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, shitty tournament on DraftKings.
There's nothing even posted yet for FanDuel.
Yeah, it's an excellent 8s for 15,000. Oh, wait, never mind. No, you know what? It's not up yet. My bad. I'm looking at tonight's slate. Haha, I'm stupid. Anyway, we'll be back this weekend with written content on Awesemo.com. So check back. Make sure you see stuff. Josh, are you doing any videos? doing MLB?
I don't believe that I'll be doing anything at all tomorrow, but I'll have a bunch of stuff out on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be on Twitter and stuff, and we'll be around, if you want to chat and talk about life. But buy that Osmo.com premium membership. It'll help out a lot with building lineups, whether it was a little games or a lot of games. We have stuff for every single day to check out ownership projections and rankings across a bunch of different sports. Really helpful for building your lineups, so go check that out. And good luck, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Adios, people.
Bye-bye.